G'day and welcome to the presentation. My name is Leon and I'm going to be telling you a little bit about RAC. Now for those who have not heard yet, RAC stands for Risk Assessment Per Component. RAC is a brand new audit methodology that is soon to be released by Draftworx, and I want to convince you, if you're an auditor, why you should be considering using RAC in your audit firm. RAC is specifically geared to assist the auditor to identify risks. Once you've identified risks, you're able to convert those risks into appropriate audit plan steps for a specific client. An inadequate planning process can result in a lot of over-auditing. However, if you're doing planning properly, you can save time and therefore money on an audit. RAC has been written by Protective Partner International, and at Draftworx we've taken the working papers that Protective Partner has developed, reformatted them and drawn them into our existing Draftworx framework, but with a huge amount of additional features. Now in the next couple of minutes I want to just show you some of the key features of RAC. A RAC client will be opened and created the same as any other client file in Draftworx, so if you've already been using Draftworx, the same processes will still apply. What's different is going to be the contents. So if we have a look at the Audit Programs menu, we've divided the file up slightly differently, and you'll see our numbering system has changed slightly. The contents of each folder is then also going to be different, as we've put in a whole lot of new documents that have been developed from scratch. All the way through the audit process, what we are doing is developing interim sign-off processes in the file. Now one can choose to follow strict adherence to the audit process or not, so this is an optional, but as in this document, you get a summary of various results from previous documents, and until this document is signed off, you won't be able to continue to the next section of the audit. The risk assessment process kicks off largely with questionnaire type working papers, but on each working paper there's the opportunity to go and identify risks. Identifying a risk is as easy as typing out the risk, so it will appear on the working paper, and deciding whether that risk is a business or a fraud risk. On documents where potential risks are already outlined, it is as simple as clicking yes to a risk. On virtually every workbook, detailed guidance is given to assist the user to ensure that documents are prepared correctly. In addition, the ISAs addressed are also given to the user for further reference. Once the risk assessment processes have been completed, these risks are transferred to a risk register. Once in the risk register, it is a fairly quick process to go and allocate components and assertions to which each risk applies, if that is applicable, and then also there is space to provide additional details such as the management's response and what our overall response to the risk at financial statement level is going to be for those risks which cannot be allocated specifically to any specific components and assertions. These risks will then appear on our RAC, or our risk assessment per component. The requirement here is to go and identify for every single component and assertion combination what the likelihood and impact of any risk that we've identified will be. It is a simple drop-down process, and you'll see immediately the level of risk is output for the user to understand what effect this is going to have on our audit. And once this process is complete, we can now go back and develop our audit plan. The audit plan will carry the overall risk from the RAC, and depending on the level of that risk, we can now go and document controls, walkthroughs, and make a decision at this point whether we are going to be placing reliance on controls or not. We can then decide for each assertion of each component whether we will be performing substantive analytical procedures, tests of detail, whether tests will be performed at interim or at final, and then what level of assurance we want to achieve for each type of test. Depending on what the answers are given here, it then works out what the final assurance will be required for any tests of detail that we may want to perform. Once complete with the audit plan, we can now go and build our audit programs. The audit programs will contain a number of procedures which can be used, or additional procedures can be added. The important factor here is that the level of assurance that each test is performed at is documented, and this will assist when it comes to selecting samples to ensure that an adequate amount of assurance is achieved directly in accordance with the audit plan. In this case, where no work has yet been performed on this audit program, warnings are given to exactly what additional work is still required on this audit program in order to achieve the desired results. Only once a team member has gone and indicated that procedures have been successful will these warnings go away. Once again, at the very end of the audit, there's an opportunity for the audit partner to go through all documentation from the audit again and confirm that everything has been done to his or her satisfaction. At its core, RAC is aiming to ensure that information that you insert on one document is used for something of value in another. No time is wasted, no effort is wasted when you use RAC. And because of the fact that everything is electronic, year after year that information will be at your fingertips. Much of the information that you insert will be carried forward and can be used in future audits. I hope that I've been able to pique your interest. This is a very, very quick overview of what RAC is and what it can do. With time we will release more videos, and I hope that you will take the time to have a look at all that RAC can offer you as an auditor. Thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.